My new favorite song, y'all. Karma. It's a mini song. You can get it on YouTube. It's called Overtime. Anyway, hi guys. Long time no see, right? Ms.Terry here. Yay. Okay, so man, oh man, I got a lot to tell you. If I won't wait so long to do a video, but you know, trying to get this recording thing and the lighting and the time and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So how's everybody? Do I already know how everybody is? Plus, this is my first day off and I don't know how long. Like, man. So I had a lot of stuff to do today. So, oh man, I forgot to call my brother. Anyway, I'll do that later before the day is over. I just wanted to give a quick reading because, man, people are in trouble. They are about to put their foot in their entire mouth. Like, literally, don't put your foot in your mouth. Don't say things that you cannot take back. Spirit has been like, Spirit has really been wanting to talk to y'all. So I'm going to just get to it. I'm going to figure out what cards, what deck they want to talk to you out of, because I have so many decks. So let's see. First things first. First things first. Papa. Freaks all the honeys. I think that's what it says. Okay. Judgment. Card came up. Judgment. And somebody took your power away. I'm not even going to say I already knew it. Because I feel like, yo, listen. Power, not the TV show, because I don't even watch the TV show. I don't even know what's going on the TV show. But trying to get power and trying to have too much power can be so detrimental. Like, literally, that's one of the big ways to get yourself in trouble with spirit. Like, literally, people get tripped up with trying to get this power thing. And the funny thing is that the more you try to climb and get it, if you're not okay, let's just preface it this way. It's one thing if power naturally comes with what you do and who you are. It's another thing when you are scraping and climbing and grinding, trying to get power over somebody or trying to get power for selfish reasons. And I don't know if because it's coming up politically, it's always in politics, that'll get you messed up. But it just feels like if things have been going this way for the last couple of weeks, this is something that you might want to look at. Power and judgment. Either where somebody's judging you or you're judging somebody. So that's what we're going to get into. That's what Spirit wants to talk to you about. So this will be a little video about power and judgment. Power and judgment. And this is not to judge. This is to help. This is to help. Because some people feel like, you know, their job has taken their power away. Or sometimes people get caught up and they don't even know who they are anymore because they have surrendered so much to the job that they don't know what the objective is anymore. So, in regards to that, the first thing that Spirit wants you to do is, you can't even see this good because of my lighting. Surrender negative thinking. Yeah, the lighting is terrible. Whatever. Forget seeing the cards. I'm shuffling the cards. I'm using cards, but it doesn't matter because Spirit's here talking to you. Now, negative thinking. Goodness gracious. Realize you have control over your thoughts. Did you know that? Did you know that you have control over your thoughts? Your thoughts and your mind is the one place that nobody has ownership over except for you. Why? Because nobody has to tell you how to think. You could think how you want to think. You could think whatever you want to think. So Spirit is saying, when there is an abundance and an accumulation of negative thoughts and you want something positive, sometimes it's like you want this, but your thinking is here. How can you get it? How could you can't even run into a miracle that way. You missing it every time. You and the miracle. You and the miracle. Like, so Spirit is like, you got to let go of the negative thinking. You got to start thinking about just the things that you want to have, not the things that you don't want to have. Now, I don't need people playing devil's advocate talking about, oh, what about this? What about this? Or what about when you're weighing the pros and cons and da 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 da. Yeah, we get it. We get it. Pros and cons. Pros and cons. And you write down the list of pros. You write down your list of cons. Now, if your focus is on the cons and not the pros, that's what I'm talking about. Because there's an imbalance. We're not talking about when it's balanced and you're like, oh, pros and cons. We're talking about the imbalance. The imbalance is what's keeping you from what you want. And if you don't know what I mean, or if you need more clarification on your own specific case, then book a private session, because we could get into it very, very specifically. Let's see. Negative thinking is going to block you in regards to your passion, because you're not going to be able to stay focused in your passion if you're thinking negatively. It's going to knock you off. Did you ever remember the stories about how people were living in their cars and they were doing all this stuff, and finally something broke through? It broke through because they believed and they trusted and they knew and they knew and they knew that something better was going to happen, and it broke through. It did, because that was what their focus was. Their focus wasn't, man, I'm going to live in this car forever and this is just where I'm going to be. I'm just going to be posted up in the car, and the car is where I'm going to be. The car wasn't the destination, even though that's like literally the car is the vehicle, but the car wasn't the destination. The car was the vehicle to get them to where they needed to get to. But the negativity is what slows things down, because there's no place in it. It's almost like you can't run into a good vibe when you're on a bad vibe. So Spirit is really talking to you about surrendering to your passion, letting go of negativity, letting go of negative thinking, letting go of anywhere you have negative or low self-esteem. Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, no, I got good self-esteem. Do you let people walk all over you? Do you let people abuse you? Do you let people treat you any old kind of way? Or the flip side of that is when you try to be so tough and you try to have up such a wall that you can't even let anything good in, because you got your wall up for protection. But if you didn't have your wall up for protection and you didn't feel like you needed protection, more things may be able to come to you because they don't have to go through the wall. Because some people don't have time for a wall. Some people will see you with your wall and be like, bye, boy, bye, see you, Craig, we don't want to be you, call Tyrone, because they don't have time, bye, Felicia. They don't have time to fight through people's walls. Like, people are valuing their time so much now that I don't have time to get to know you by breaking down your walls and all this stuff. I just don't. Like, if you have a wall up, a lot of people now are opting out. Because why? I can go meet somebody who doesn't have a wall, and we could click and we can start talking and have a grand old time. And nobody has to jump through any hoops or walls or anything. So if you're feeling like you're not getting through to people aren't connecting or communicating with you, then just figure it out. If you can't figure it out, book a reading. Surrender your need to always be right. You can't even see this, but like I said, it doesn't even matter. Surrender your need to be right. Sometimes people have such a chip on their shoulder and they know they're right all the time that people don't want to be bothered with them, because nobody wants to run into somebody who's always telling you, I told you so. Like, nobody wants that. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Sometimes people just want to figure it out on their own, right or wrong, because it's the experience. Experience is a good teacher. So don't take away people's lessons by you trying to just impose what you know to be right on them. Let them do their journey. Okay. Ego. Oh, you know what? I'm going to package this little reading up and I'm going to make it, I'm gonna title it People Who Are Hard-Headed, because everything that's coming up is the same. The next card that came out was Surrender Your Ego. Okay, so if you always got a need to be right, if you need to let go of negative thinking, and you got to surrender your ego, sounds like you one of them signs that I don't get along with, that I'm not going to say out loud, because there are certain astrology signs that as a Pisces I do not get along with, because they got a big ego and they always right and they loud and boisterous. But anyway, if you're loud and boisterous and you got a big ego, sometimes if you let your ego down, you'll get more. Like, what do they say? You get more bees with honey. I don't even know if that makes sense, because bees make honey. Anyway, sometimes you get things being a little bit nicer, a little bit more calm than just being in your ego and bossing people around all the time, just because you know you're right. Now, we're not talking in the context of if this is your company and blah, 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 and you boss people around that way. But think about it. Some of your employees might have some really good innovative ideas, but you won't ever get to hear it if you're just bossing people around, because they're not going to share it with you, because nobody wants to deal with your ego. So you're missing out on some innovation. So you got to find a balance with that. Okay, the next thing. Boy, oh boy, I tell you. Surrender the idea that you can fix somebody. So, okay, like I already said, let it go. Just let it go. Let people be who they're going to be. Govern yourself accordingly, but let them be who they're going to be. You don't have to fix anything. You can just observe and experience the essence of them. Whatever energy they're bringing, if you want to participate, experience the essence of who they are. You don't have to change people, because most times you're acting like a bully and you don't even realize it, and then that person's going to disappear out of your life anyway. So I think I'm going to stop this video right now, because it's my day off and I'm like, I wanted happy stuff. I wanted happy readings. I'm like, negative thinking, ego, need to be right, fixing people. What is going on out here in these streets? I just got back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Deuces.